What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with an interesting little video. This just happened to me today, so I figured why not make a video on it. Now, don't panic. It's okay. Back to the normal videos, the drug videos, yada yada, tomorrow. Take a deep breath. I had one I was going to upload today, but I figured this just happened, and we're uploading this today instead. So, hope you guys do enjoy. Drop a like if you do. And let's dive right into it. So, I got hired for a job, and I mentioned this in a video. I think I mentioned this a couple days ago, maybe a little longer than that. I applied and got hired immediately, and I should have known this job was a little sketchy because I showed up, and they like the email that they sent me said be prepared for a 60-minute interview, bringing 2 forms of ID, dress business casual, no denim, no sweatpants. So I show up all swagged out, I got my fucking button-down shirt, my khakis, I'm casual the fuck up. I got my nice business shoes, and I sit down, and they're just like, so you want to work here? And I'm like, yeah. And they were just like, all right, training on Wednesday, have a great day. That's basically what it was. And they showed me this one video and asked if I had any questions, and I said no, and they're just like, all right, see you Wednesday. So that's when I should have known it was a little sketchy because it wasn't like a fast food place, and jobs like that aren't like fast food places or grocery stores are typically, they hire quickly for a reason because people also quit quickly. So, I go in today for my training, and I should have known that this was just a bad day. There's a storm brewing. I'm driving there, and and this dude almost runs me off the fucking road. This guy in a fucking Chevy SUV. Fuck all Chevy SUVs, by the way. If I see anyone in one, I don't fuck with you anymore. But, he's like, he turns on his right signal, and I'm right next to this guy almost, a little bit behind him. But if he didn't stop and I didn't nail the horn with the force of 1,000 fucking dicks, he probably would have nailed the whole front half of my car. It was fucked. So he starts getting over. I honk. Dickhead swerves back. And then he's still trying to get over, and I'm just making sure I don't let this guy in. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck this guy, fuck this idiot. So I just block him off the whole time. And then he's trying to drive real slow, behind me, because he knows that I won't let him in. I also don't think he wants to see me, because eventually he got behind me, and I just flipped him off, because fuck that dickhead. So then I'm driving. It's a 30-minute drive to this place. I get there. Training's there. I go sit down. I got a hoodie on and some fucking khakis, which is what I'm wearing right now because I just got home. And, during the interview, the original interview, they asked me to take this piece of paper that they gave me and fill out all the times that they couldn't schedule me for, all the times I could not work. So I filled it out. I said Tuesday, Thursday, I'm starting school from noon to 3, so I'd say don't schedule me from 11 to 4, and then I'm good. And then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have the gym from noon to 1, so don't schedule me from 11 to 2. I can work nights, I can do any other time. It's Gucci. And the lady looked at it and she was like, yeah, this works. We could do this. So I'm coming in. I sit down for my training. There's 2 other people in there, and there's this one guy who, oh God, let me tell you guys, he was a character. I come in, he's got the long hair, super long hair. I'm wearing pretty normal clothes, so I didn't think much of it. And I sit down. He introduces himself. I'm like, what's good? I'm Nick. I introduce myself to the other girl in there. I'm like, what's good? I'm Nick. Whatever. So we're all sitting there, and the guy who's training comes in. And I should have known something was up from this as well, because the guy walks in and he's just this sad old Asian man. And I'm talking you could see the hurt in his eyes. This man very clearly would not like to be there. He was just sitting there and you could just see the sadness. And this was the same guy who, when I went in for my interview, my original first interview, he was in the assistant manager's office getting yelled at. Not yelled at, but they were scolding him. The door was open. I was kind of listening in. I was snooping a little bit. They were giving him shit. And I felt bad for the guy. So he walks in to do the training and he's just sad as fuck. And I'm just like, oh God, dude, what have I got myself into? So I'm like, whatever. We'll see how it goes. So we're sitting there. They hand out, the first thing he does is he hands out our little papers that we have to fill out with tax forms and signatures, a bunch of bullshit that I barely read. I signed most of the stuff. It's whatever, get through that. And he's talking to us. He's talking about all of us. And, the job I had, or I was going to have was I was going to be doing inventory for like different stores that this company worked with. So like I'd go to the mall and like take inventory at certain shops, or like I'd go to grocery stores and like take inventory of stuff. That's what I would do. So, I go in there and it's just whatever. Like, I just want to get my paycheck and deal with probation requirements at this point, because the reason I even got this job to begin with is because one of the terms of my probation is I have to work at least 20 hours a week. So yeah, fuck that. But anyways, so I'm in here and he's asking, he's like, so, we've even stocked stores like Hot Topic. Have any of you guys shopped at Hot Topic? And the guy with the long hair, who just was a character, he looked nothing like your average Hot Topic customer besides the hair. And he goes, oh yeah, all the time. And this like old sad Asian man and this like Hot Topic enthusiast are now getting into like a detailed conversation. And the old man's like, do you know where they put the shirts? And he's like, yeah, right in the back, really high up. This guy knows the fucking Hot Topic layout by heart. And I didn't even know this store was still a thing. I thought this store closed like 10 years ago, but apparently not. So they're talking about it. I'm just sitting here like, whatever. The girl across from me is just not even like paying attention. I don't fucking know. And finally, we get through all these papers, and this guy, the dude who's doing the training, the old Asian guy, he was like, even though you guys are part-timers, you could make more than the district managers as part-time. And that was a big red flag. I was like, all right, what kind of fucking Ponzi scheme did I just sign? Like what papers did I just sign? What kind of scheme am I involved in right now? Who's hitting a lick on me? I'm looking around, I'm trying to survey the area, seeing who's about to come in and fucking rob me, because there's no way. He's like, yeah, you can make more than the full-time district managers. And I'm intrigued, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just listening. And the Hot Topic dude asks him, he's like, what? Like, how? That's crazy. And he's like, here's how. And he's like, well, our hard workers, our hardest workers really make more than our district manager. And that didn't sound quite right to me. And he goes, yeah, granted, you have to work like 70 hours a week. He's like, but I've done it before. And right then and there, I was like, okay, what the fuck is this man on about? Let me remind you guys that he told us that he and all of us are part-time. 70 hours a week is just a bit over part-time, in my opinion. Just a tad bit. Just a little bit over part-time. So I'm like, all right, what? Like, no shit. You could make more than the fucking district manager working 70 hours a week. Like, my guy. Well, actually, no. First off, the pay was $10.50 an hour. So first off, what kind of fucking pennies are they handing the district manager? Like, if that's the highest up position, and this man's making less than the part-timer busting his ass with like $10.50 an hour, what kind of fucking shit pay are they giving this guy? Like, this poor district manager, man. Like, there just must have been like crippling depression running through the fucking company. It just sounded sad. And, I'm like, all right, whatever, just no fucking shit. I mean, with that logic, any fucking, McDonald's, for example, you could work 70 hours a week and make more than the fucking manager. Like, no shit, that applies to any job, my guy. Like, shut up. So, finally, the last straw comes, I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking to myself, God, this is gonna fucking blow. Like, this job's not gonna be fun. And they hand me my schedule. I look at my schedule, and there's just something a bit odd about it. They apparently took the form that I wrote all the times I couldn't work on and just said, fuck it. They were just like, this guy right here, Mr. Goblin, fuck this guy. Fuck him, slam him, shit on him. He has no other obligations. Fuck this guy, make him work now. I wrote off Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't work at noon. What do you know? This upcoming Monday, 10 a.m., 4 p.m., baby. Let's go. But wait, there's more. There's more. I was also scheduled for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all at the same fucking times, except for Wednesday. That Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday were the same times, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wait, no, was it 10 a.m.? I think it was 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Wednesday, they had me at 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, that wouldn't be that bad. However, A, I'm fucking part-time and I asked for like 20 hours a week and I'm already at like 30. And 2, part of the problem is the job I was doing, I go to different stores in the district that this, my like specific branch controlled. And the district was pretty big. Like, for example, the place I was going to on Monday would have been like a 45-minute drive. The place I was going to on Wednesday, where I had to start at 5 a.m. and be at that location, was about an hour away, which means I had to leave my house at 4 a.m. to even get there on time if traffic was okay. And in order to get ready for that, I would have to wake up at like 3 a.m. a little later, like 3:30, 3:15 maybe. Now, what the fuck do they think I'm doing? Who do they think I am? If this is the schedule they give me immediately, just disregard all my fucking obligations and all the times I specifically said I couldn't work, then there's no way this is gonna work when I start classes. I can't wake up at 3 a.m. when I have class the same day, you know? Like, I can't do shifts like that. So, you know, after he hands us our schedules, he's like, read over those, make sure they're okay. I didn't say anything, because at this point I was like, I'm not even gonna argue this. Fuck this job, I'm leaving. So, you know, I'm like, is there a restroom? He's like, yeah, you know, right down the hall to the left. So I walk right out the front. I go back to my car. I get in my car and I leave. I skirt the fuck off. Now, apparently, they weren't too big of fans of me leaving. And apparently, they don't get too many applicants, because like 20 minutes into my drive home, I get a call and I answer the call. And it's like the manager lady there. Her name's Linda. And it's one of the manager ladies. They had like 3 managers. I don't know. The way they had it was fucking confusing. And I answer, and she's like, hey, you know, where'd you go? Like, are you coming back to training? You know, what's going on? And I was just like, no. And she's like, why not? And I was like, yeah, I'm not interested. Sorry. And I just hung up. I didn't want to hear any more bullshit. That fucking pyramid Ponzi bullshit scheme they were trying to yank me into. Not literally, but just a shit fucking job. So I came back home. I got a call like a week ago from a different guy who I applied for, you know, a different job I applied for, and he called me back and left his cell number. So I rung him up. I said, what's good? And the pay's better. It's $15 an hour. So that's almost like a half pay increase, actually. It's almost like a 50% pay increase, which is pretty nice. And on top of that, the guy sounded pretty nice. You know, he actually called me. This job I worked for, they just emailed me. It was like an automated email. This guy, he gave me his personal cell number, so he sounds a little cooler. So hopefully this will work out well. I'm crossing my fingers, but yeah, technically I was hired for this job. Like, I was already employed. Like, they were paying me for this training time. So, I mean, that's technically the fastest I've ever quit a job. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.